Hi guys. If you're watching this, you should be on our Empower team. And this video I'm making to explain what I emailed out to you about how this marketing test is going to work and why we're doing it. First off, the internet marketing stuff, let me back up. SEO, anyway, is not really very scalable. I mean, you can get ranked on this term or that term, but it takes a while to do. And even an expert like Rob Forer says it takes a while. Well, I'd like to get the 180 customers that David Wood talks about that we need in order to get 30,000 a month. And I would like to get that reasonably soon. I don't want to wait forever. So another way is through direct marketing. And this is something most of our Empower people don't know. They're mostly into internet-based stuff. So we're more likely not to see other Empower people doing this, which is a good thing because we won't have competitors within our own business. So the rationale behind it is if you do direct mail or direct response and you do a test to 1,000 or two people on a list, if that test works, then you can roll that out because the list, I would only pick a list that's large enough so that if the test works, we can do 5,000 next time, 5,000 pieces in the mail, say. And then if that works, you do 10,000. If that works, you do 25,000, and so on. So it's very easy to scale. So what the issues are first, we need a list that's a response-based list, which means it's a list of buyers who actually bought something through direct response. And that is way more better a list than just inquirers. Now, I work with different people who have access to thousands of these lists, so the key is which one. And normally, if I were doing a direct marketing test, I'd like to test 5 or 6 lists all at once. But that gets sort of expensive. So what I proposed, and this, you guys should all have this. And if you don't have it, send me an email and I'll send it to you. Because I'm going to go over this now, and it's helpful to have it in front of you. You'll see there's 4 columns here: postcard, letter 1, letter 2, and email. Okay, postcard self-explanatory. I would be doing a bright yellow postcard with black text, and the purpose of the postcard is to bring people to the landing page. With the letter, it's not 2 different letters, it's just 2 different response rates. Letter 1 assumes a 2% response rate. Letter 2 assumes a 1% response rate. The purpose of the letter is to get the sale. So, and the email, of course, would also drive people to the landing page. So the postcard and the email are the beginning of a funnel. They drive people to the landing page. People opt in at the landing page, and then they get in the autoresponders email sequence. They also get redirected to Dave's sales video. And then hopefully they sign up at the end of that. The direct mail letter bypasses all those. Just send a letter, send me money back. So the cost to do each of these is based on a cost of 1,000, postcard of $670, letter $1,250, email maybe $250. My preference is to find a list where we can that has both postal addresses and email, so that we can do all 3 of these at once to different pieces of that same list, so we have a side-by-side comparison. That will let us roll out with the one that works the best. So under here, where it says conversion, this area, this is hard to do on this thing. I'm putting it the wrong way. This area, I assumed that the email would get 5% of the people who receive it to go to the landing page. And that I assumed the postcard would do better than an email, getting 10%. And that everything would get a 20% opt-in rate of those who go to the landing page. And then I assume that 20% of those who opt in buy. And we're only talking about the $25 thing here, the blog. Then the last two are the 2% and 1% response of an actual order right away from the letter. So when you see the total is the amount of dollars that has coming in. You'll see that number is smaller than the cost. I expect this thing to lose money, which, let me take an aside here. A big problem with my clients anyway, with direct marketing, is they don't understand how to evaluate the results. And it may look on the surface like it's a bad idea, but stick with me here and I'll show you why it's a good idea. So the customer value, I have a line down there. My customer value with Empower is $401.90. And that's calculated by how many customers I have divided into the total income I've received from them so far. So Dave and Dave's customer value is more like 800, and I think Rob Ford's is 500 or 600. So 400 is a good base. So that number there, the customer value line, says what are those customers worth. If we're getting 4 customers from the postcard, 2 from the email, 10 or 20 from the letter, this is the value of those customers, which that number is way larger than the cost of doing the test. And I did the math here. The cost to get a customer is the cost to do the mailing. Then you take whatever revenue we get and subtract that to get the net cost. The number of new customers, and then I divided the number of customers into the net cost to get the cost to get a customer. And you'll see the postcard's $142, the letter is either $37 or $98, email's $100. We don't know what these numbers are, and anyone who's going to participate in this with me needs to understand we might get no responses to anything and we'll all lose everything we put in. Just up front, understand that. It can't. Sometimes tests don't work. That's why we call them tests. If we knew they were going to work, we call it a rollout. Now down at the bottom here, what we want is 180 customers, right? That's what'll get us each $30,000 a month of income. So taking each of these 4 columns, multiplied 180 times the cost to get a customer, and you'll see the cost to get 180 customers is anywhere from $7,000 to $25,000. But the value of those customers, using my customer value of 400, is $72,000. So that is way more. And the interesting thing about this is how fast are we going to get that 400? What that's based on is the upsells. So what happens, all the numbers up above assume a $25 sale and nothing else. Well, we know people upgrade to the 100 a month, to the 500 and the 1,000. We just don't have good stats on how quickly they do that. But it wouldn't, if we have just on average, if people do the 100, we're cash flow positive right from the start. The other benefit here of the 180 customers, remember that Dave Woods said, once we have them, if we're not making 30 grand a month, he'll get on the phone personally, one-on-one, and help us do it. So it looks to me like there's a possibility here. We could get our 180 customers, we could make it cash flow along the way, and we could all have a really nice income real soon. So the deal is those of you who get in this with me, and we're just going to share the costs, and those of you who get in it with me are going to participate in the results, and then nobody else but us is going to use the copy in the sales letter, and the rest of the pieces of this will be held exclusively to our little group. So that's pretty much it. Let's talk on the phone, but I wanted to cut this little quick video to give you guys an idea of what it's all about.